Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. A lot quieter in Blackpool than it was last night. Gonna go now, Media City. Do some on the red sofa about, well, they told me fly tipping, but then they've sent me a video and it was more like industrial fly tipping. So we'll go and do that, get back, and then we might, if we get a chance, try and make a baking tin for the prototype bread, if the tea doesn't get away from us. Nice day anyway. Looks a bit empty, this place, without quad track, a Valtra, Fent. What else did we bring? But those Zerion. Did we bring 4 tractors or 5? Can't remember. Last Christmas. It's a bit warmer as well. It's a good picture in it now. How cool is that?
Do you know if you see
Knitted.
Frank, is the K hard or is the K flat?
What shade am I then?
What's that? Sand.
Sand.
500 sand.
I always
for
have
you.
sand on me.
To cover this.
Makeup done. Not got a red nose anymore.
Gosh, that report from Yvette Austin. We're joined now by Ollie Harrison, who's a farmer and NFU member, along with Niall Burns, the Chief Executive of Sabrosa Group, which helps councils crack down on illegal fly tipping. Ollie, watching that report, we were absolutely aghast at the scale of it, the size of the dump sites. Is it something you come across a lot, though, on that scale?
I think there's 2 kinds of fly tipping. I mean, being honest, that I think fly tipping is more sort of opportunistic, if you will. No one around, let's just throw this out. And that's what we struggle with most on the farm. That's kind of like made to look professional, so people don't actually know it's not supposed to be there, shall we say. So it's kind of a bit of fraud, avoiding landfill tax and the likes. And they're obviously trying to hide it well. The fly tipping I get, no one's made any attempt to hide it. They've just thrown it in our gateway or thrown it over the hedge, you know, sofas, mattresses, all sorts, old furniture, you name it, we get it, especially this time of year when everyone's doing DIY.
And both sets of fly tipping, if you like, the kind of industrial quantities, but also the opportunistic fly tipping. How much of an impact does it have on farming, on day-to-day doing your job? It's
just so frustrating. You'll turn up to go in a field and there'll just be a mountain of rubbish in it. So you can't get past, you have to go and move it out the way and with a different machine, then come in, and then you're getting punches because normally there's nails and screws and stuff. And it kind of, like I say, it ramps up in May. I don't know why everyone must go and do the DIY in May, clean the garden sheds out, all this. That's what we end up with. So it's kind of like someone dumping waste on someone else's land, you know, whereas what we just seen then was, you know, they don't know who owns the land, but you can guarantee the owner probably knows that's happening. Yeah. There's 2 kinds somehow.
Yeah, they're sort of different, aren't they?
Niall, let's talk to you. I mean, Sabrosa is your company. What's the sort of stuff that you come across more often?
I think Ollie mentioned it perfectly well. There's the 2 types. There's the opportunist, and there's more the fraud around the landfill tax. As a business, we're more involved in a larger scale fraud for the landfill tax. And as you can see, you know, there's thought and planning gone into that. Somebody's got heavy plant. It's trying to be disguised as a proper site. So we are traditionally more involved in the larger scale fraud. As you can see, it's a very big scale, that particular site in Kent. And we've come across others like that too.
And presumably, if on the larger scale stuff, like the stuff we saw in Yvette's report, where she talked about it being chopped up plastic and everything else, that's been processed somewhere. I don't know about that particular issue there, but would the processing company, I mean, is there more than one person breaking rules here? As I say, I don't know about that particular example, but just generally in the cases that you deal with.
Yeah, if I speak generally, this whole area sits within our corporate investigations, and what you'll normally find is there's collusion along the way. This is organised crime. There's money involved, so people are getting bribed to turn their eye to certain procedures which should be in place. So if you trace it all the way back, you will find that there's collusion, there's bribery, and that this is known about in at all different levels within processing plants. there's a financial reward for that person turning the blind eye to the proper and official process which should take place.
And Niall, we heard in Yvette's report there's an issue with accountability, isn't there? Because it falls between local authorities, sometimes one or two local authorities, but then the police as well. So it's who takes hold of the problem, and I guess that's where you guys come in.
Yeah, we provide evidence, basically. So through our backgrounds in the Royal Marines and Special Forces, etc., we've got specialist police officers, former Royal Marines. We'll go out, we'll build a covert hide, and we log events. So we gather evidence, and that evidence is produced and given to the local council or whoever the client is. And then they decide what to do with it, whether they go to the police for a criminal case or whether they take civil action. I think that unified approach is probably what's missing. Maybe a national coordinated approach would be good, so that there is streamlined process and each person within that process understands what their duty is. I think that's sometimes the problem. You get lots of different agencies working together when really there's no real clear line of how to get this across the line for a prosecution.
And I guess, Ollie, you don't have that luxury, do you, of creating hideouts? You don't know when and how it's going to happen.
No, we did put some covert cameras out, but unfortunately they put a little red light on in the night, and that's not often when it happens, so they've been stolen. But we also get, it's a commercial fly tipping where someone's paid someone to clear their garden out, and they think they're trustworthy and they've paid them the money, and then they've just took the money, tipped it in our gateway.
Because to go to the reputable tip, as a commercial
they'd pay per tonne to get rid of it,
yeah.
And then there's little bits where someone will get a new TV, so they'll just throw the old one in our hedge, and that's because I think they've gone to the tip. The tip's been shut, so they're like, well, we don't want it in the car, so they've come home and, you know. What
do you think the solution is then? Because Niall was talking about these industrial scale operations. It's a different problem to tackle to the ones you're talking about. What could be done?
To be fair, I always thought the bigger scale stuff fell with the Environment Agency because it's sort of static and it's happening. The opportunistic which we get...
This is stuff we're seeing pictures of.
Yeah, I think a lot of that really is different opening times at the tips. I mean, they're open sort of like Monday to Friday. I think they may be open at a weekend, but maybe they should be open from midday till 10 o'clock at night. You know, if someone's been in work all day and then they've come home and they've got to move something, they get there and it's shut. Or even the laws around what you can take in. Like, my mate got a new bed, so we borrowed my mate's van to take his old bed to the tip, and they wouldn't let us in because we were in a van. So we're like, so if we've got to, like, carry it in. Anyway, actually, it was a few years ago, and the guy was like, oh, you know, I see what you mean. It's only, you know, we'll let you in. But there's people that they'll borrow a van to move something big, and then when they get there, they're not allowed in because they think it's a trade.
It's a total lack of respect as well, isn't it? For you, for the countryside, for I don't know. I mean, I was brought up never to even drop a sweet wrapper.
Yeah.
You know, and I wouldn't. And
no.
I don't get it.
I mean, it's not just fly tipping, it's litter. You know, anyone being near traffic lights, just have a look out the window and you think, oh, my God. I was in Ireland, actually, on Monday, and I think there's a lot less litter in Ireland. So I don't know why that's different. Maybe they just respect the place a bit more, I'm not sure. But we are urban fringe, so we do get it.
Well, it's an interesting point that you make.
Just to back up what Ollie says.
Yeah, go on, Niall.
But just to back up what Ollie says, so we've encountered rubbish tipped outside legal sites. So the site is closed, and rather than driving away, they'll just tip it in front of the gate. So that's where we put static cameras in household waste sort of recycling centres. That's often the case that people have gone up after the site is closed. They won't go back the next day. They'll just literally tip it right in front of the gate, and then they think that's somebody else's problem now. But I guess with all this, it comes down to funding. You know, opening sites longer, different shift rates for the council workers. So I think funding has to be put into this as well to help counter the opportunist that Ollie just mentioned there.
Thank you very much, Niall. We're very grateful to you. Niall's the Chief Executive, Niall Burns, Chief Executive of Subrosa. And Ollie Harrison, farmer, thank you very much indeed for coming.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Need to just nip Brookhouse now, get some hay out for the horses. Hopefully they won't notice I've got makeup on. That's the people that are, not the horses. And then I'm going to look for some wood for making a jetty, because my mum wants a jetty on the pond. But I've just been looking around the yard for the other telehandler. Couldn't work out where we'd parked it. Then I remembered Bill and Joe have borrowed it because they're shredding muck and planting potatoes at the same time. So that's why there was only the little one and this one that my dad normally uses here. When the weather is as warm and as glorious as this, it's very hard to remember the fact that the last 10 months have been so wet. Yeah, like I think one dry day can make you forget a month of wet days, if not 2 months. took the hay round, pushed the midding up, and then I've come to look at this, and look at that. It's just starting to green over the bit that we drilled a week or so after the rest of the field. So obviously this is where the flood was, and one of the floods. And yeah, it's starting to green over, so hopefully by harvest it'll catch up. As you can see by these ruts that are that deep, the beans are growing out the side of them when we put the pre-emergence spray on. Not all the way through the field, but just in this corner here. That just gives you an indication of the conditions that these beans were drilled in. But they're absolutely loving this weather. Look nice and healthy. Nice rows coming up, even though you can see a bit of grass weed there, but still the odd one still showing. But yeah, really nice stand. This was the second field I think we sown. Or was it the first? No, this is the first, because the very first field we pulled in, we decided it was too wet, so we went back to. So yeah, this is the first. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. I just hope it keeps coming warm and damp now for the next 2 months. Just have a quick look at what's left of the OSR, just this one field. It's still flowering. The far side flowered a bit later than this side. If you look now, it's already started forming pods. If we crack one open, if we can, we do it with one hand. Not so easy. Well, yeah, you can just about see if it focuses. The little white bits in the middle, that's the beginning of the seeds. So there's one there, if we can get it out. See? On the end there. So they'll turn black, and that'll be 40% oil, hopefully. But what are we talking now? July? So another 10 weeks maybe for harvest for this. This year's harvest is going to be an easy one, I think, because you know how the grain dryer's got a lot of parts that need replacing on it. We've got to dig it out the back of the shed. Well, we're going to swap it out for a different one. So that can guarantee if you've got a new grain dryer in the shed, you get a dry harvest. Trust me. As is tradition, when Martin's up, he's going to do the birthdays.
Hi everybody, I know everybody who's at the Young Farmers AGM this weekend, which is where we've been. Yes, I know, but we've been, and it was fun. It was good to see so many happy faces. Okay, birthdays today, quite a lot. Ellen Jones, 17. Amy Richards, you're 34. Deo Thomas, 11. Happy birthday, Deo. Charlotte and Roy, they've got 139 New Jersey cows. So the
arrival of us
arrived yesterday or day before. So they're very busy at the moment trying to train them how to do robots. Tony Day, 70. Jack Griffiths, happy 20th. Matthew Wielden. Padraig Lowry, we don't know how old you are, but it's your birthday. Faye Henry, happy 8th birthday to you. Jonathan Connolly, 52. Isabel Warren, 5. Andrew and Melissa,
17th wedding anniversary.
17th wedding anniversary. Happy anniversary. Wonder what you're doing today for lunch. Total today 66,312, and I can't come here without mentioning Tony Hall, who today is 63 years, 2 months and 1 day. Happy birthday, Tony, for another day, yet another day, but it's a Sunday, so have a good day. Take care, everybody.
So, as you know, when young farmers go out, they have different shirts on saying different things. I've got a few of them I'm going to show you now, but Martin was going to get one, but didn't arrive in time. And on the back, it was going to say, last time I was here, this was all fields.
And it's true.
Yeah. There's the tower. There's the winter gardens.
Now, on your chairs, you'll see a QR code where you can gain access to an FB digital membership for just £10, which is normally £109. And this gives you access to Farmer's Guardian every week for a full year. So please do. Thank you. What I'm actually talking about today is the environment, it's money.
So we're just in Blackpool now, and this guy is dedicated.
Tell you what, Newcastle boys, don't mess about. Us Geordie boys.
What's the sound of the mic? What's the sound of the mic?
I got a cow one. After you.
Go on, but never forgotten. Speak up. That's mental.
Good boys.
Yeah. Come on, what's yours?
I got a little cow.
A cow on your calf?
Right, she got hers.
That's
it.
a calf and a cow?
Same time as me. Come on.
Some of them shirts were obviously quite amusing, and also one of them was quite serious, so some of them took their own life. So remember, please talk to people. Let us know how you are today. We've not done it for a while. As a percentage in the comments, and that's what it means. AnswerAsAPercent. Someone asked the other day, but yeah, do that. I always say this every day now, but it seems to be a random video. So hope you enjoyed it. Big hello to all the young farmers that met yesterday. So much fun as well. So I was thinking that they're going to be all completely drunk and jumping all over the place, but no, they were all very sensible, to be fair, and very polite when they were asking for pictures and stuff. So it was good. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.